special with the Kiki Dee Band, Roger McGuinn, Sparks, Roy Woods, Wizzard, and your host for this morning, George Carlin.
No, not Blue Yellow Ball. I wanted to talk a little bit about words. Words are, well, they're everything. They're true to you. They betray you. They say too much. They don't say enough. They say it wrong. There are words that we don't stop and inspect too often. Kit and caboodle. Have you ever tried to buy a kit and caboodle? You can get a kit, but they're all out of caboodles, man. I can't. I'm back ordered on caboodles now. My hands are tied, you know. If I do it for you, I have to do it for everybody. I can give you a caboodle kit. You build your own caboodle. No thanks, I'll wait for the caboodles to come in. Did you ever shop for notions or sundries? What are they? Give me a dozen notions, would you? And a box of sundries. I always run out of them about the same time. It's like bric-a-brac. Can you have just one? What would it be, a bric-brac? That's like odds and ends. If you have 25 odds and ends on a shelf and 24 of them fall off, what do you have left, an odd or an end? It's like this, that, and the other. I'd like this, that. You have to get the other, it's a set. Some words all got crowded into together, insofar as. Well, a drag. Gotta be part of four of the words. Inasmuch as. Heretofore, thereunto. I'll bet you those words they'd feel proud of themselves, those kind of words. Whereas. Whereas must be the president of that club. Words have little personalities. When radios first came out, we called them radio sets. He bought a radio set. We've got a radio set at all. Last night we got Pittsburgh on the radio set. Then we got Plaza. It's a radio. Give me the radio. Turn on the radio. The radio set. It's the radio. TV sets started out as TV sets. We've got a TV set down at the bar. Let's go. They got a TV set. Put that picture over on the TV set. Now they're TVs. Guy in a TV. I see it on TV. The poor word set. About every 20 years or so, it gets to be popular for a little while. Those things make me sad. There are words like refinish. Terrible word, refinish. What are you doing at the table? Refinishing? Don't you have to restart? And I insist, when you have only one M&M left, you have an M. Simple. It says so right on it. You buy a whole bag of them, you buy a bag of M&M. You leave Disneyland, if you want to go out to Disneyland, to your van for something or other, and then go back in, you get your hand stamped like you do at a dance or something, and they stamp your hand. But when you come back in at Disneyland, the door you come back in says re-entry entrance. What a waste of word. Should have been the re-entrance. Did you ever belch and taste a hot dog you had 2 days ago? Hey, that was good. I'm going back there. One of the things in comedy that really works is universal childhood experiences and parent experiences. Here's the thing. Have you ever heard this phrase in your house? Where's the good scissors? Why can't I keep anything nice in this house? Where's the good tape measure? Oh, you want the good one, not the one with 28 inches missing from it. If you ever go back to where you grew up, instead of going back as you are now, go back this big. Go to the house you grew up in and look at it like this. Because the perspectives are different. You come back, oh, yes, there's the little chair, and there's the table, and there's the windowsill. The windowsill. Ooh, everything's still there. That dumb nail that didn't mean anything, had no use, was wrinkled over. The broken part of the wood. All those little ridges and cracks and things are still in your windowsill. And if you look under the kitchen sink in your mother's kitchen, she still has that stiff U-shaped rag hanging under there. But parents have a lot of power. Parents can buy 100 ice creams. Did you ever think of that? You can do that now, man. You can go and say, give me 100 ice creams. Just saying it would be enough. Cancel the order. Oh, wow. So they can't be far from us. And the other thing is about, like, old people, like it's my contention. You know, there's a lot of silent and not so silent prejudice and bias against older people. And generally it comes from younger people, which seems stupid because the younger people are going to be older people, and they're setting it up wrong. If we were smart, we'd be setting it up now so that being old was cool. And when we get there, hey, look at the old guy. That's what it should be. That's what we're gonna be, man. You know? So people get confused because we're really always children. We come into the world as children, a little helpless, sort of awestruck, and we leave the world as another form of child, sort of helpless and awestruck, and we forget that in between you're supposed to remember the ground rules for being at least childlike. Maybe not childish, but that's what happens. We get to be 21 and we think you got to stand like that and walk like that, and hi, I'm 21, I'm 25, now I'm 30, 35 and 40, and I walk like this, and I carry that, and hi, I'm 55, now I'm 55, now I'm 60, and I'm 65, and I retired, and I can wet my pants again, man. Just remember that old people are really just bent children. That's all. They're used kids, man. Thank you very much, man. It's been nice talking to you. I'll catch you later. Hey, you know, it seems like things we like, we say them twice. Like you say, oh boy, bonbons, yum, yum. Then we smoke a Corona and go to New York, New York. It's the same with our next singer, our next attraction, Kiki Dee. And this song is called I Got the Music in Me. Oh.
change the night through an open door. I am awake, but this is not my home. For the first time, I'm not alone. Reaching out, I touch another's skin. Breathing out as he is breathing in. Deep inside, I feel my soul aflame. Can my life ever be the same? Should have told him I'd do anything if I could hold him. Or just another day, or just another day. His love is something I will not forget. When I am far away, when I am far away, I feel the rainfall of another planet, another planet. Close together in the afterglow, I remember how his loving flowed. Turn the key into another world. Made a woman of a simple girl. Daylight comes as we both know it must. Soon my fantasies will turn to dust. But I would give him anything he asked. If my first love could be my last, should have told him I'd do anything if I could hold him. For just another day, for just another day. His love is something I will not regret. When I am far away, when I am far away, I feel the rainfall of another planet. When I am far away, when I am far away, I feel the rainfall of another planet, another planet.
A few weeks ago, we presented our version of the Top 40 show hosted by Paul Anka, and your response was so great that we're going to do it next week. That's right, we're going to present our second annual Midnight Top 40 special hosted by Bobby Vinton. And Bobby's going to sing his current big hit melody of love, plus some of your old goodies, too. And joining Bobby will be Al Green singing Sha-La-La. And also Neil Sedaka, his big hit Laughter in the Rain. Plus, You Got the Love by Rufus. Also Carl Carlton's Everlasting Love. And I Can't Help by Billy Swan. Now, don't forget, that's next week on the Midnight Special, the big Top 40 special hosted by Bobby Blue Velvet Vinton. And now, back to George Carlin.
Roy Wood was with the group Move, and then he moved. Roy Wood's Wizzard now, but it still says Eddie and the Falcons, which sounds like guys I hung out with. And if you feel like Eddie and the Falcons, here's Roy Wood's Wizzard.
Thank you. You'll never guess what this is. Here we go.
Top down on the radio, play the beat. Yeah, felt so good when the gal jumped over the sea. Well, she took the mighty pill, she's ready to fade. Well, they're coming around in a brand new 88. I can make a plenty of ground, so over the town. Making me wait. Get my kicks, justified every state. Well, the cops got him and shot him with a boy. It appears to us you make him one hell of a noise. Walking up on the highway, it's too late. Oh, you wind up losing a brand new 88. Too bad. Top down on the radio, play the beat. Yes, that's good when the gal jumps over the sea. She took the mighty pill, she's ready to fade. Oh, coming around in the brand new 88. Oh.
always wanted to someday, after Jim McGuinn, his name had changed to Roger McGuinn, introduce him someday as Jim Roger. And I'm not going to do that tonight. I think that would be poor. I like just let music speak for itself, and I love titles and plays on words. The album that Roger has put out, Roger McGuinn, is Peace on You, and here is the title tune from Peace on You.
God ain't gonna love you any, 'cause he loved too many more. He ain't gonna trust you, baby, he never could before. God ain't gonna like the way you cheated on me down here below. He ain't gonna love you any, 'cause he loved too many more. Beside me, baby, yeah, peace in the valley, peace in the sea, peace in all the little children and me, and peace on you. God ain't gonna love you any, 'cause you love too many more. He ain't gonna trust you, baby, he never could before. If I was you, then I'd start wondering which direction I would go. God ain't gonna love you, baby, 'cause he loved too many more. Beside me, baby, yeah, peace in the valley, peace in the sea, peace to all the little children and me, and peace on you. Peace in the valley, peace in the sea, peace to all the little children and me, peace on you. Oh yeah, yeah. Peace in the valley, peace in the sea, peace to all the little children and me, and peace on you. Oh yeah, all right. Peace in the valley, peace in the sea, peace to all the little children and me, and
Thank you, Roger. And we will be back with Kiki Dee and Sparks and Roy Wood after a little word from station places. You know what they are. Go do whatever you do during that time.
Let the midnight stand true. Shine a tell another light on me.
There's such a discussion about things we add to our bodies outside of food and water. Drugs is the word they use. Drugs? The drug problem, which for most people is, I can't get any. No matter what your thing is. Even if it's just painkillers or whatever. How did all that get started? One of the commissions on drug abuse, and drug abuse is a misleading phrase, because some of the times it's like children's zoo. I never know what, are the children in there or what? Children's zoo. Drug abuse, they say, this is National Drug Abuse Month. It sounds like they're going to say, if you're not now abusing drugs, get started real soon. And no one ever includes everything from coffee to aspirins to morphine to alcohol. You know, everybody gets his own separate section he wants to talk about. One of the things the Commission on Drug Abuse was asking was, how did you get started on drugs?
I forgot, man.
How did you get started, Mr. A?
Well, when I was a kid, like, if I didn't feel good, you know, if I was sick, my mother would take me to see this man, and she will give him money, and he will give me pills, you know, and I would get better. My mother called it get better. I call it feel good, man. Hey, I would get better, you know, I feel good. Later, when I grew up, I started going to the guy myself.
That's always what happens. Someone that we trusted said to us when we were little, take this. For that, have that, take this.
What are you taking for that? Boy, you ought to give him something. I'll tell you what I took for that. Old Doc Kramer, he'll give you something. Give him this, take that, put this, take this. Don't have that, take this.
Don't feel good, feel better. Put something inside yourself, yes. And so, it's natural, I guess, when you get out a little later in life, to act along the lines of the way you've been trained and the people you trusted who said, you'll feel better if you'll do this. Now, that's the only point I want to make about that part of drugs. The other part of drugs is the fact that it's crept through so much of our society. It's not a drug problem anymore. It's just one of the societal at-large problems, one of the really huge ones, man. People talk about
there's too many drug lyrics in them rock and roll music songs.
Now, there may be, but that's not the first thing a child hears. The first time a child hears things like that, verse and rhyme, are the nursery rhymes he hears, and he's much younger and more impressionable. He's 2, 3, 4, and he hears about these people in the nursery rhymes, and you know what they were into. I mean, think of some of the bizarre behavior. Humpty Dumpty, big old egg is laying up there gonna go up on the wall. He's high on that stuff they feed chickens, man. I started thinking about it. Most nursery rhyme characters were into some sort of a drug experience or another, it seems to me. If you just, some of them are simple, you just take the name, Snow White. I say, Snow White, all right. And then I wonder, well, what kind of white? What is it? Is it something up or down? What is it, smack? No, couldn't be smack. There are too many chores with 7 dwarves around. It has to be something to make you feel up, make you feel good, something to make you want to wash the garage. Each of the dwarves was into a separate little drug trip. Happy, just smoked grass, that's all. Hey! That was happy. Sleepy was into reds. Sneezy was a full-blown coke freak. Dopey was into everything. Grumpy, too much speed. Doc was a connection. And Bashful didn't use drugs. He was paranoid on his own. He didn't need the big D to catch the big P. Other people in those nursery rhymes. Old King Cole, what did he do? Old King Cole was a merry old soul, and a merry old soul was he. He called for his pipe, he called for his bowl. I guess we know about Old King Cole. Hansel and Gretel discovered the gingerbread house about 45 minutes after they discovered the mushroom. I see it too. We need more sparks. The fire went out. More sparks. Wouldn't happen with a Zippo. Sparks.
fun sons of kids like us. This town ain't big enough for the both of us. And tell me who's gonna live.
We think we have it straight now, folks. It's Roy Wood's Wizzard.
Yeah.
If we're gonna have groups that we're gonna hate or feel better than, just to look down on, it'd be nice if everybody could live on a higher floor so we'd all have someone to look down on, but it's not simple. I suggest, let's pick a group. Now, other comedians in the past have come up with certain groups that would be easy to kind of get all our hate out on, because the way we have it now, we even hate within our own groups. It's strange, but you can talk to a Jew or a German or a Frenchman or an Italian or a black or an Irishman, and within his own group, there's some lower group he hates. The Irish, the lace curtain Irish like to talk about the shanty Irish. And all the groups have their own versions of it. If we can't get along within them, no wonder the imaginary line between France and Germany. Did you ever think of that? As an example of borders. I love language, and it's amazing to me that an imaginary line somewhere changes how you talk. Because on this side of the line, right at that place. So they had to really feel it for a long time for that to happen. You don't have to do dialects to evoke the feeling of ethnic groups. I grew up in New York with a lot of those good flows around me and a lot of the sounds of the world there. And I found out that you don't have to do words, you can do ethnic sounds. Each group has been assigned a sound. This is the English sound. My group, the Irish sound. The Italian sound. The Jewish sound. The Scandinavian sound. The French sound. Yeah, that's probably a myth. Yeah. And the Black American sound. I grew up in an Irish neighborhood right next to a black neighborhood and found out very soon that black guys were cool. And all we ever wanted to be as kids was cool guys. That's all you ever ask God for at the end of your prayers. Please, God, let me be a cool guy. And blacks, because they were the least free, were the freest with whatever was left. That's the way that is on that lower rung. Your body, your dress, your style, your talk, the way you work it, your song, it's all free. And we were kind of like Irish guys who, we were into gangbusting and a little uptight. In fact, I found out that by hanging out with black guys, we started talking and walking and acting like they did. In fact, almost any of those guys of that era, if you took 5 Anglos and let them hang out with 5 blacks for about a month or less, at the end of that time, the whites would be walking, standing, and talking like the black guys. You'll never hear the black guys saying, well, golly, we won the game today. But you see white guys with red hair and freckles named Duffy say, hey, what's to it? Nothing happened today. It's okay, man. I'll catch you later.
We're gonna have more of the Midnight Special with George Carlin right after station identification.
The metric system is coming into use in the United States soon, and that means your old lady will be bringing home a kilo of hamburger. How would you like to clean up a kilo of hamburger, huh? Roll one, smoke one, eat one. Of course, if you didn't have any money, you could get a little bologna. Pick you up a nickel bag of giblets. How about a gram of ham? Don't get the meatloaf, man. It's been cut with veal and pork.
You see you in the distance, and you're heading for a fall, sinking deeper by the minute. You're about to lose it all. Better change before the sun goes down. Better leave before you are the last in town. Better raise your fortresses or tear them down. Tear them down. for you could be poison, taste so sweet. You better change before the sun goes down. You better leave before you are last in town. You better raise your fortresses or tear them down, tear them down, tear them down. I can see you in the distance, and you're heading for a fall, sinking deeper by the minute. You're about to lose it all. You better change before the sun goes down. You better leave before you are last in town. You better raise your fortresses or tear them down, tear them down, tear them down, tear them down, tear them
My job is thinking up more or less moronic stuff that you don't have time for. You'd like to hear it if you could go to a place, the guy's gonna tell us moronic stuff. Okay, let's go over. But you don't have time to think of it yourself. You're busy with dealing with folks and signing a check, answering the door, taking care of this and that on the phone. So I think the moronic things up and come right now and then and tell you what they are, or rather remind you what they are, because they're all us. They're all us stuff. Us. When are we gonna have a meeting, man? It's so weird. Being one of the human guys. Have you ever noticed, for instance, on the escalator, that the handrail moves a little bit faster than the thing you're standing on? Have you ever noticed that all frozen peas are the same size? They are. If you had a favorite frozen pea and you dropped the package on the floor, you'd never find it, man. Bacon is on my shopping list. Did you ever notice that behind the neat horizontal strips of bacon, there's always one weird piece of bacon like that? Right. And it never has the same markings. It's from another batch. Flowers, the dumbest ripoff that ever happened to humans and consumers. Flowers grow for free, but we go to the florist, and we give him money, and we take the flowers, and we bring them home, and they die, and we don't even care. I want my money back. Things died at home. Sorry, that was the deal. And I paid you, huh? Acupuncture. We know that you can go to the acupuncturist if your complaint is pain. But can you go to the acupuncturist if your complaint is that you have thousands of tiny needle holes all over your body? Acupuncture first aid. Discus throwers. If you're a discus thrower and you practice alone, you gotta go get it yourself. I'd like to be an eyelash on a cyclops, and then I'd only work a half a day. Do you realize that at one time, no one in the world could play the piano? No one, not even your cousin who goes ding, 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 could play the piano. Everybody was practicing. It's true. After the first piano was built, even the guy who built it didn't know exactly how to play it. He knew what he had in mind, but he had to kind of go boom, 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 boom. Guys came by his house, hey man, boom, 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 boom. Practice. One day he had to decide. I'm playing. And we've all been practicing ever since. Hey! Thank you all for being just where you are, and thank everybody there, of course. And thanks to all the guests tonight on the show. Everybody made the fine music. Come back, see another Midnight Special. My T-shirts will soon be featured on the front and back of an album called Toledo Window Box. Catch you later. Thank you very much.